guys, welcome back to another Roblox video. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can make a GFX in Roblox Studio, so let's do it. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to go ahead and do is make sure that you're in Roblox Studio. So just to let you know, this is only available for desktop, so sorry mobile users, there's some other good tutorials out there that can help you. But what we're going to want to go ahead and do is click on Classic Baseplate, just like this, and it should pull up the baseplate. Now, we can go ahead and hover over to the plugins tab right over here. And if you do not already have load character plugin by Already Pro, then it will be in the link in the description below, or you can go to home and click on toolbox and go to from models to plugins, and it will be right here, and just make sure to install it. So now we can go ahead and close off toolbox, and we can go over to our plugins tab, click on load character. Now you're going to want to type in whatever name that you are doing the GFX for. So I'm doing it for myself. So I'm going to type in my name and click spawn R6. But before we do that, make sure that spawn at origin does actually have an X on it. So that means it will actually spawn at the origin, which means it will spawn at the middle. But make sure you click spawn R6, not spawn R15, because if you spawn R15, it won't read correctly. So make sure to not do that. But yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and click this little arrow button right in the Explorer. If you do not already have Explorer open, you're going to want to go over to the View tab and click on Explorer, just like this. So now we can go ahead and go back into our Explorer tab and select all of the hats in your model. If you do not have any hats, then you can just skip this step. But I'm going to go over to my desktop, and I'm going to click new folder. So I'm basically just making a new folder, and I'm gonna name this LinconBlox GFX, just like this. So now I can go ahead and open it up and name this OBJ to hats. Click save, and now we can go ahead and click this backspace button on our keyboard, and that will delete it. So now we can right click on our LinconBlox model, click export selection, and type in body, just like this, click save, and now we do not actually need Roblox Studio anymore, so we can close it off. Click no, and now we can go ahead and open up Blender. If you didn't already have Blender, you can download it off of Google, so you're going to want to go to blender.org, just like this. And as you can see, it's right here. You're just going to want to click this download button. Now, I have already downloaded it, so once you have downloaded it, you can go ahead and open it up. But you're going to want to make sure that you have the Paint Rig V3, which will also be in the link in the description, another download. But you're going to want to click on that, and that is going to open it up. It should be this little perfect purple figure. If it is not, then you probably downloaded the wrong thing. So now we can go ahead and zoom into this top thing right here, and it should say Sparkson21 text.png. Right here, go over to this window, click this little X button, and click open. Go to wherever you saved your folder. So mine is in desktop, right here, under LinconBlox GFX. Double click on it. Make sure you select your first texture. If you select any of these, it won't work. So now you're going to want to click this open image button right here. So now we can go ahead and drag this up, just like that. Then you're going to want to go ahead and click the file button up here. You're going to want to do import wavefront.obj, and then go back into wherever you saved it. Go into your LinconBlox GFX, select hats.obj or whatever you name your hats. Click import obj, and now we can go ahead and pose this. So I know it looks a little bit funky right now, but as you can see, if we go into this is what it will look like when it's rendered. It does not actually look bad. So now we're going to want to go into Viewport Shading for the time being, because we want to pose it. So now we're going to want to go ahead and select our rig. Instead of object mode, do pose mode. And you can make whatever pose you want. So you can just go ahead and rotate it. And I'm just going to make a pose real quick. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. Alright, so I've actually made a little bit of a pose. It doesn't look super amazing, but I guess it is what it is. So now, what we're going to want to go ahead and do is get out of pose mode, click Viewport Shading, which is this little globe right down here. Now you're going to want to click Add, click Light, and under that you're going to want to click Point. And that's going to insert this little point light right here. So now we can select the move and move it up here. So as you can see, it's not actually very bright. So what we can do is make sure that we're in the world properties and change the strength to about 30. And as you can see, that brightens it up. Now it looks much, much better. Okay, so now we can go ahead and put the camera right about here. That looks good. Okay, so now what we're gonna want to go ahead and do is go into this little camera icon right here, go into film. Under that, you're gonna want to click transparent. Now that's going to select a transparent background for our render. Okay, so now we're gonna want to click that add button again and click camera. Okay, so now as you can see, the camera's right here. We can just move it up like that. Okay, so what we're gonna want to do now is click the 0 on our numpad, just like this. If you not already have a numpad on your keyboard, you're gonna just click this little camera icon right here, and it's gonna do the same thing. Now you're gonna want to click Shift and this little button right over tab. Okay, so now we can move around our camera. Okay, so we can just move it up, move it back some, and perfect. Okay, so now we can change the resolution by clicking this little button right here. Looks like a little printer, and change the resolution to the same thing, so 1080 by 1080. That makes it a little square. Okay, now we can do the thing over Shift plus the thing over tab again, zoom in, and I think this will be good. So now we can go ahead and do render image, and this is going to start rendering the image. Depending on how fast your PC is, it can be fast or slow, but I'm going to go ahead and speed this up for you all. Okay, so that's actually finished rendering. Sorry if you can hear my PC in the background, it's very loud. But what we're going to want to do now is click this image button right here, click save as, and as you can see, we can save it as whatever we want. So I'm going to go back into desktop and put it in our GFX folder. So now I can rename this to render done, just like this. Click save as image, and now it's going to save as a PNG for us. So now we can close out of Blender, just like this, and we can open up a photo editing software, which is like Photoshop, but it's called Photopea. It'll be in the link in the description below, photopea.com. Okay, so now we're going to want to click on new project, and we're going to set the width to 1080, and we're going to set the height to 1080, so it is a full square. We're going to change the background to transparent, click create, and as you can see, we have this square right here. Now we're going to want to do file, open in place, and find our desktop, click on LinconBlox GFX, and go into our render done, or whatever you named your finished product. Okay, so now I can go ahead and enlarge this just a little bit, just like that. That looks about good. Click OK, and now we're going to want to go ahead and find a nice background. So we can go ahead and look up sun rays PNG, just like this, and as you can see, this will work for now. Okay, so now we can right click on it, click copy image, and click paste right into our Photopea, and enlarge this just a little bit, put it in the center just like this, and now we can go ahead and drag it under, and you can change the color to whatever you want. So what we can do to change the color is select image, adjustments, hue and saturation, and then we can click colorize and change the hue to whatever we want. So I can change it to a light blue, just like this. Actually, let's make it a little bit lighter, just like that. So now I can go ahead and click OK, and we can go ahead and find a, what's it called? Low poly background. Low poly, yeah, background. Okay, so let's find something that looks about good. Let's see. Okay. All right. I think this will work. You know what? No, I was going for something like, yeah, this looks good. Okay, it has a watermark on it. You know what? Let's just look up low poly map. Okay, just like this. Now we can go ahead and select this one. This looks good. And click copy image. Paste it in here. And now we can enlarge it just like this. All right. Let's put it under the layer. And let's add a little bit of a blur effect to it. So let's click on it. And let's go to layer. Convert to smart object. And do image adjustments. Actually, no, I believe that you go to filter and then you do blur and then Gaussian blur. This actually blurs it out for you. Now we can add a brush effect into it, but what we're going to want to do now is look up half tone dots. Okay, just like this. Go to images, and now select the dots, click copy image, and now paste it in. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is go to blending options and click overlay. No, not overlay. Let's do linear dodge maybe. Just find a good one that will work. So yeah, this one will work. Okay, so now let's enlarge this so that it's super big, so we have some nice dots. Let's convert this to a smart object so it's not blurry. And now make sure that you have the same effect on. Okay, so now we can change the color of this too. So let's change the layer, the image adjustments, hue and saturation. Let's change the hue to, let's do colorize, change the hue to, you know what? Let's just do a blue gradient. So look up blue gradient. Okay. All right, you know what? Let's do yellow gradient. Okay, just like this. You can do whatever color gradient you would like. All right, this one's gonna work for now. So we can go ahead and import it into here. And now, what we're gonna wanna go ahead and do is do it like that. And now we're gonna wanna right click on it and do clipping mask, okay? So now we just did a clipping mask on our dots. So you can't really see them, but they applied a cool effect to it, okay? So what we're gonna wanna do now is go into our brushes, and if you do not already have this brush, it'll also be in the link in the description below. And we can reduce the size of this to about that. And we can set the color to yellow, just like this. And click OK. And just make a new layer. So click cancel. And then click on this little notepad right here. Put it on top of everything. And choose whatever color you'd like the brush to be. So I've selected yellow. And now you can go ahead and put it right here. And then for our next one, we can go ahead and select this right here. And we can change the fill color to a nice light blue. Okay, so now, edit, undo that. Okay, so now we can go ahead and put one right here and one right here. Click and drag, drag this way to make it curve. like that. And now click and drag just like this. Oop, kind of funky. Okay, you know what? And let's undo that. Let's undo that. Okay, so let's just do right here, right here, so right here, and then we'll do right here, and then right here, and then let's select here, and then go here. Okay, so now we have made a little shape. So that looks pretty good. We can go ahead and add a blur effect so that it doesn't look so sharp. So go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and we need to rasterize this. Go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, just like this, and set it to about there. That looks good. Okay, so now we can increase the size of this, just like this. All right. So let's increase it more. Okay, perfect. That looks good. Look okay. And I think we have made a pretty good GFX for today's video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, remember to leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!